Hey everyone, it's Final Round. We're back with another WNBA slate or just one game for Tuesday. Don't want to go too crazy with this game, but since last video did so well, I'm gonna use that model for my videos for now on and kind of just break down the game and then also give the picks. There are lines out for it, but I do want to still have a pinned comment to give plays that I see in the future because we don't have every single line. Like right now, we just have like points for some people, points rebounds for some people. We don't have some rebounds or assist just by themselves for some players, and it's really just the like key players that are out right now. So I would like to see if there's going to be some other players that are released with lines. So if you guys could, please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. And also, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You could just put a number and that helps. But let's break down this game. It's the Minnesota Lynx versus the LA Sparks. And the way I broke it down last time was with points, rebounds, and assist, with each ranking and then trying to find a good opportunity for the players and then jump on that. And last time we had a game that was very slow pace that I pointed out, and I didn't take any lines from that. And I'm glad I didn't because there was a lot of unders. It's tough because with these slow pace games, yes, some players go over and the plays look really good, but there are some that normally go over that will have an under game, and it's tough to predict with these slow pace games. Unfortunately, that's where we're at right now with this one game, but it is just one game, so I feel like I have to give some picks for it. So we'll start out with points. So the Minnesota Lynx are giving up the lowest amount of points in the past month. The Sparks are scoring the seventh most points. So their average, they're in the middle of the league. So tough matchup here. Ricea Collier is doubtful. Supposed to be out. Minnesota's defense was still pretty good when she wasn't there, but they were playing against Washington, who's one of the worst teams. So defensively, I think they're still going to be pretty sound. Because defense it's a team thing. It's not just a one player thing. And then on the other side of things, the Sparks are allowing the second most points, but the Minnesota Lynx score the second least points. So kind of conflicting styles there. So looking at the pace, I was a little bit surprised with the Sparks. The Sparks are playing at the fourth slowest pace, and then the Lynx are playing at the second slowest pace. So we're going to have another slow game. Hopefully with the Sparks' bad defense, we can see a little bit more scoring from the Minnesota side. But I just wouldn't take a lot of players to go over on their points in this game. Definitely would focus on mixing it up, diversify your portfolio, if you will, and not just go for everyone over points, because somebody will go under with this pace and just low scoring. So rebounds, the Minnesota Lynx, this is one that I've taken advantage of in the past. They give up the most rebounds. So they force the least amount of points, but they give up the most rebounds. It's because they give up the most offensive rebounds. They give up 10 offensive rebounds a game. I felt like part of that was because of Ricea Collier. I know she's a good rebounder, but she's 6'1", and other teams were just able to get their misses. So the Lynx could potentially be overplaying the shooters as the ball moves around and just be out of position for defensive rebounds, leaving the opportunities for offensive rebounds. So it's something I like to take advantage of, and something I will be taking advantage of with the one pick that I have for this, and then I'll have potential picks in the future in the pinned comment. Don't want to go too crazy just because it's one game and it's a really slow paced game. So with them giving up the most rebounds, the Sparks unfortunately are getting the third lowest rebounds. So not good there, how those just conflict, where you're like, well, I got a good opportunity, and then you look and at the team, they're like, oh, they're not taking advantage of that. Sparks are giving up the fifth most rebounds, so average in the middle. Lynx are getting the fourth highest rebounds, so that's something to take a look at. Good matchup there for some Lynx rebounds. So this is where some players I'd like to read off. So Napheesa Collier is out, doubtful. So Alana Smith is the second highest rebounder. Her line is a little high right now. It's in plus money. That's something I potentially would want to look at. Her hit rate hasn't been too great, but she did get 8 with Collier out. There's someone else that I'm looking for their lines. Her name is Dorka Juhasz, who's 6'5", who took the place of Napheesa Collier in the starting lineup, and she got 11 rebounds in 23 minutes. So if they drop her lines, I definitely would want to see where her rebounds line is at with them getting so many rebounds. She didn't score very well, but definitely rebounds. If they drop Dorka Juhasz, I've got her up on the screen so you can remember her name and keep an eye out for her. I would definitely put her in the pinned comment if I see anything later in the day. They do take their time with these other players, but she is a starter. She should at least get a line. Like, come on now. And then when it comes to assists kind of come with points. So Minnesota is allowing the lowest amount of assists. Sparks are getting the 7th most assists, so they're average, right in the middle. They're kind of an average team. So not too crazy about assists for the Sparks. So the Sparks are giving up the 5th most assists, so still kind of there in the middle. And the Lynx are getting the 3rd most assists. So they're not scoring a high amount of points, but they're getting the 3rd most assists. That means, so on the offensive end, they're going slow, but they're being efficient, and they're making sure they're playing team basketball, and they're getting assists. They're not scoring as many points. On the other end of things, they're giving up offensive rebounds. So just some things to look for with this game. If you want to make like a full slip, good luck. I would say take it easy on this game. For Wednesday, it's actually a 5-game slate. I think this is the biggest slate of the year for 5 games. So that will definitely be one where we'll be looking for some really good opportunities like we did with the 4-game slate. So I would caution you, just save your money, maybe put a little bit on this one. But don't go too crazy. And before I get into this pick, I want to shout out my partners, Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FinalRound11 on any of these. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. There are links in the description that'll take you straight there with the promo code. And thank you to anyone who uses those. So the pick that I like right now, that I will put in the pinned comment, will be Rickea Jackson of the Los Angeles Sparks, over 17.5 points plus rebounds. Her minutes are increasing. She's averaging 30 minutes over the past 5 games. She was the 4th overall pick, so this is part of their plan. They want her to be playing 30 plus minutes every single game. So it's not something because someone's hurt that she's stepping up. This is a developmental type thing. She wasn't playing many minutes to start off the year, and it's been increasing. And you'll see the games in her last 10 that she's gone under. She wasn't playing. She was playing like under 20 minutes in a lot of those games. So I know Minnesota is tough on points. I'm not exactly happy about that matchup. So if you take Outlier and you sort it to 29 plus minutes for her, you'll see that she's gone over this line in 6 out of 8 games this season. Then you have that first game you see there early on in the year. Didn't do too great, but her one other miss was by 1. But I really like the rebounding opportunities there. Obviously, Rickea Jackson is going to be a popular pick for a lot of people. Her rebound line's at 10.5, and she's gotten 11 in both games versus Minnesota this year. So it's like really close. Like you're playing with fire with Rickea Jackson's rebounds. You definitely would want to add in her points because she's been on a tear as of late. Just going with Rickea Jackson because the line is lower and she's coming off a career high in points. Against Minnesota this year is probably one of her best games. She had 19 points and then 10 rebounds. So that 10 rebounds was huge. So her points line is at 11.5, 12.5. It gets bumped around. If it's at 11.5, then she's gone over her 11.5, 7 out of 8 games this year, playing 29 plus minutes. If you get at 12.5, adding in the rebounds isn't a bad idea, just because, and you're probably going to see it because it right now it's at 12.5. I doubt it goes back down, but I've seen it go up and down according to the line tracker on Outlier. So we're looking forward to just continue her success, coming off a career high in points, and then take advantage of those offensive boards and regular rebounding. Dorka Juhasz a good rebounder, but Rickea Jackson will also be out there snagging a lot of boards. She's been doing well, staying consistent in that category, and it's very encouraging that she got 10 last time against Minnesota. It really shows that that matchup is true to what it's showing, with the most amount of rebounds given up. So other plays that are kind of pending for me: Bridget Carlton over 10.5 points. She scares me a little bit. I'm a little bit iffy on her because last time I took her, she shot one field goal attempt. Like, it was crazy. So you see here on the screen, she's pretty consistent when it comes to scoring, but then she takes one field goal attempt. But with Collier out, she scored 13 points. One thing I am looking for is she rebounded really well. She has 6 rebounds in that game, and I would like to see where they put her rebounds line at, so get a potential points plus rebounds. They don't even have her PRA out right now. I'd like to see where that is at once that's released, because I think those could be really helpful to this points line. So just something I'm looking out for. And then also Lena Smith with Collier out. But obviously Dorka Juhasz had a really good game. But Lena Smith is someone that I got my eye on. Clearly, when they have lines out for so long, lines get bumped all over the place and things change. So just some things I'm going to be looking out for. Rickea Jackson is the one official play, if you will, that I like right now. Even though her points is getting bumped back and forth, I still like her potential for rebounds. So if you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. If you're new here, we're talking about WNBA, talking about Summer League basketball, Olympic basketball, baseball, all kinds of conversation going on in there. So it's free. I'd love to see you join. And then as far as the recap goes, I actually didn't write down the plays, but I went 6-0. It was a 6-0 sweep. I felt pretty good about it. I made $800 myself. A ton of people in the Discord were green. Thank you, Clea Copper, for getting those final free throws near the end of the game. But it was Kennedy, Carter, Andrew Reese, points plus rebounds, Clea Copper. A good read was Odyssey Sims. We'll see where they put her lines out next. But she was just someone that I was watching play, and I was like, this girl can play. Like, she's really good. And her lines weren't reflecting it, even though she was still hitting, but she went off. Her line was like 10.5 points, 11.5 points. I took her points plus assist, and she drops 25 points. Then a Joe Lloyd assist, and I'm missing someone, but I can't think of them right now. But either way, it was a 6-0 sweep. So there was people who did it on Prizepicks and they got that 25x. I saw someone got 35x because they put them all in on a sports book. So awesome day. We'll try to keep that going. Like I said, this one game, just with the pace, I'm not too big of a fan. I know you may say, well, just take the under. It's not that easy because you can play at a slow pace and you can still be efficient, just like I've mentioned with Minnesota. So it's a little bit tough just to take an under. They're kind of encouraging unders with like Courtney Williams or McBride. With the lines that they set the lines really high, and there's a lot of red on the under. So if you flip it to the under, it's a lot of green. So they're encouraging it, but with Collier out, McBride could go over on points. Courtney Williams actually had one of her best games that I saw against the Sparks. So it's tough. The lines are pretty high for a lot of Minnesota players that they want you to take an under on. So just my thoughts. I know it's a long video just for one game. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going to get this edited and get it out to you. God bless you. It's FinalRound. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.